Good morning, good morning, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. How is everybody this morning? Nikki, hello. It is vibey in here this morning. I need something to like wake me up, get me into it. Had a rough night last night. My youngest is going through some things. She's got some emotions going. She is just not sleeping, so ain't nobody sleeping. Hey Kai, how you guys doing on this Friday morning? Oh my god, it's incredibly fun. My wife is taking the brunt of it. Like, she is a saint when it comes to like trying to get me sleep and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Good morning, Sharpender. Hello. The real Atichi. Good morning. Hey Horton, good to see you again. I'm hanging in there, getting coffee on board right now in my favorite cup, and gonna get this thing going. It's Friday night here in Singapore. My god, what are you doing here? Oh wait, gotta stay at the house. Yeah. The real Atichi, thank you for the follow. So how has the week been, guys? Have you gotten done what you needed to get done this week? I'll tell you a little bit about my week. The thing that happened right in the middle of the week was we had a design center appointment for our new home. We're building a house here in Greenville, South Carolina, and the design center process, like, we're going through one of those like volume builders, and it was a 4.5 hour meeting where we were literally placing outlets and picking out tile and all this kind of crazy stuff. And I was quite overwhelmed. Even as a designer, like, it was crazy. Cornelius, happy Friday. Nurazim, what's up, bro? Excited to see a video about typography. Really like what you did with the style guide and the complete case study. Beautiful typing grid. Thank you, Leo. I appreciate that. I take zero credit for all of this. It's all the people around me that have been influencing me and helping me grow as a designer. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked. We're gonna like start playing around with some layouts. So if you missed last stream, what we did was we did focus sprints, and we all kind of worked together where I was typing, other people were, working on dev stuff and IT stuff, and it was good, but I noticed that the engagement kind of dipped, and I also noticed that like the viewership dipped a little bit. So I'm kind of thinking that those were a little bit too long for the stream, even though it was kind of helped me focus. So I think we're going to avoid doing that right now. And move into more of like a design process. But what we're going to cover today, I'm going to start playing around with some type. I'm going to pull in, some of the typefaces that we chose during our research phase, and then a couple of new ones, and then just kind of play around with some layouts. I got my sketch pad here. We're going to be doing some grid explorations and all that kind of good stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing today. The other thing is that there's tons of stuff for me to critique in the Discord. So I'm going to pull a couple of you guys online. One about halfway through the stream, and then one at the end of the stream. So probably around maybe like 12 o'clock, we'll do the first critique, and then we'll wrap up the end of the stream around maybe like 1:15 or 1:10 with another critique. So if you want your work critique, please put it in the Discord. I know for sure if he's around, Franjo is getting the first one, since he was the first one to submit. Oh, there he is right there. Yeah. Franjo, hello. 4 hours sounds like information overload. It was literally like, okay, where would you like to place your first outlet? And how about your second outlet? And what about your 64th outlet? And it was just like, we were fried. Did I switch over to Stream Elements from Streamlabs? No, I'm using both, and that's probably not the best thing, but I really like Stream Elements overlays better than Streamlabs overlays, but I like Streamlabs OBS. I don't know. I'm using it all. As a UX in construction, I feel your pain. It's really intense. Yeah, Dan Storm, and the thing is that like, okay, this is too vibey. I gotta change this. Hold up. We'll go back to tried and true here. There we go. It was a good wake up though. That first song is great. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, the pressure of making those decisions all at one time was intense because you can't change it afterwards. It's like, this is it. And some of the stuff you see for the first time. So I might actually talk about that in a video because it's kind of like it's a little bit indicative of some of the pressure points that we put our clients through. So yeah. You could probably hear the baby in the background. Sorry guys, she needs to take a nap. She was literally up all night. So it's kind of crazy in the house. Sharpenter, I finished a vector stainless render of a logo and I'm pretty happy with the result, even though it's full of gradients and no-nos for a logo. Hey, if it's if you're happy with it, then awesome. Yeah, fatherhood. But like I said, I owe my wife a lot of credit because we were all awakened, but she was the one that was getting out of bed. So yeah, she definitely took it on she shouldered the load there. Client's happy with it. Good. I think this is the last batch of the honey washed coffee that we talked about. I think it was Friday of last week or Thursday of last week. So I'm excited to break into a new bag. Probably Sunday, I believe. And I'll tell you guys all about it. You can absolutely throw a logo in the Discord. So what else happened this week? We launched a workshop for learning print design, which is going really well. The author of that class, Lisa Galea, is very knowledgeable when it comes to print processes and how you can use it to, work with printers and the whole production process. So we got that launched this week on Wednesday. And then the other thing is that I don't know if you guys remember, if you guys watch the Futures channel, Chris's business coach, Keir McLaren, wanted to come join us for consulting, and so we got him on the website as a coach. So you can actually go hire him now to coach on your business. The same guy that helped coach Chris through those years. So that was it was a pretty productive week. And hold up now, we gotta go look at this because we did this together, and we have now launched the home sliders on the home page. We're working on getting some better aspect ratios for the podcast thumbnails, but yep, it works. The only thing that it doesn't really work the best on is the hover effect on mobile is less ideal. So we're going to tweak that, and then obviously we have some work to do on the header, but those are out there, which feels good. Feels really good. And we did the entire process on stream, which is kind of cool. Very, very cool. All right, let's go back to just chatting. Emmanuel over on YouTube says, hey Ben, where can I find the Discord? So if you're on Twitch, you can type in !Discord and get the short code. But since you're on YouTube, I think you might have to head to my Instagram profile and it's in there. Or join us on Twitch because Twitch is great. Slider's looking slick. Ba-doom, dad joke. Are you a dad, Zach? You act like it. Base 10, what's up? How you doing? I'll show you guys where to go on Discord to jump in the crit. So if you want to jump in the critique, it's this little channel here. You just post the work, and then when it's time, I'll come grab you, and I'll tell people to go to the waiting room, which is an audio room, and then whoever's in there, I'll just grab you and then move you to stream chat where there's a limit of 2 people, and then we can talk about the crit. So that's there for anybody who's interested, and I think I'll do 1 or 2 of those per stream. And it doesn't have to be like a high pressure critique. It doesn't have to be one of those things where it's like, I'm, ripping your designs apart. If you need help on something, if you're stuck on something or whatever, it's I'm here to help. So, like I said though, it's got to be something that's in my wheelhouse. Because if you ask me about animation, it's not gonna happen. Zach, you're not a dad yet. Okay. Hey, Node. What's going on? I appreciate that. Okay. So, let's just take everybody through what we've done so far here. Start getting to work. What's the reason behind streaming on YouTube and Twitch at the same time? To be honest, I didn't know which one would be better. And so I committed to a month of both Twitch and YouTube at the same time, which is why I went with Streamlabs actually. And so far, Twitch has netted more community, more chat, more interaction, and more flexibility when it comes to the interactive features that it has, which is just kind of great. That being said, YouTube is a wonderful place, but I think for me at least, it might be more of a static content kind of platform. But I wanted to, I'm committed to a month of this, and we'll see how it goes. I actually made affiliate for Twitch, and I haven't accepted the agreement yet, which I'm probably going to be doing at the end of next week. So we'll be able to do some custom emojis and all that kind of good stuff in the chat, which will be fun. Why XD and not Figma? I think I'm gonna make like a little short code for this question. I get asked this a lot. I think they're both awesome. I'm just more comfortable using XD. Now, Figma actually has a what's it called? An arc tool that XD does not have, and that thing is awesome. You can actually create like gradients inside of an arc, or have those like circular loading bars and stuff like that, and that is a tool that XD just does not have. Before, maybe like up until a year ago, I would say that XD was the fastest moving. As far as like releasing new features and prototyping and all this kind of stuff. And I feel like they have slowed down maybe this year, and Figma has sped up. That being said, it's just like subtle differences in keyboard shortcuts and just the interface. I'm just more accustomed to it. So use whatever makes you comfortable. Oh, so I have a month to sign up for Twitch. Good to know. Shivani, you can catch this stuff on YouTube. I'll probably upload them on YouTube. And then this whole project that we're doing with my personal site is it's for a series that we're doing with Webflow. So you guys are getting to see the actual raw process, and then we'll take all this screen recorded footage and even the stuff of me talking and edit it down into a couple of like 8 to 10 to 15 minute videos that kind of shares the process and the journey. I've also got some killer interviews that I can't wait to share with you guys. And first, let's see, Carl Hauser. Are you guys familiar with Carl Hauser on Instagram? He does these crazy HUD designs. Let me zoom in on that so you can see it. These things are just absolutely staggeringly beautiful. They're busy, but they're not busy. They have a lot going on. There's so many elements, but they're just not busy. And obviously, like, everything else that he does is amazing. But like, it's just beautiful stuff. Hey, Hibix, thank you for the follow. So Carl Hauser is obviously not his real name, but I actually got to interview this guy. He's in Tokyo, from Germany, and he walked me through his process and all this kind of stuff, and it was just a great interview. And so that's going to be part of this series that we're making here. So it's taken a while to pull things together, but it's just because I have a lot going on outside of the stream. The stream is like the one place that like I'm able to slow down, focus, get some design work done, hang out, that kind of stuff. Yeah, his work is incredible, and he's definitely one of my design heroes, and that's the whole point, is like reaching out to design heroes and asking them for advice as part of the journey. So just beautiful stuff. There's actually a tutorial that he's done on creating these HUDs. It's somewhere, and I will find it and post it on something for you guys. Because I think I'm going to follow that. Like when we have some space, maybe on the weekends or something, it's time for like fun design. I think I'm going to follow his tutorial and see if I can get close, because the work is just beautiful. It's overwhelmingly beautiful. XD does interactions way nicer than Figma. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't think that I really push my prototypes all the way to the prototyping phase, like interactions and stuff like that. Like the auto animate feature is awesome in XD, and I think Figma's like just released something right with auto animate. But yeah. Collaboration is the biggest feature about Figma that they have over XD. Even though XD does have collaborative features, it's kind of difficult, and it requires everybody to kind of be on the same page with their software and all this kind of stuff. So we've kind of run into a little bit of bumps in the road when it comes to collaboration on XD. Zelda Nerd, thank you for the follow. No D0, thank you for the follow. Yeah, Kai, isn't that insane? His name's Sebastian, and his work is just beautiful, and he lives and breathes design. That's what I'd love to see. He's one of those dudes that like he carries around these same notebooks, same kind of like Baron Fig flexible notebooks, and they're just filled with interface ideas. It's crazy cool. Kai, what's the one thing about Webflow that I dislike? Collaboration. Only one person can work on the designer for one website at a time, even if two people are working on different pages. So you actually have to like duplicate your site in order to to work on it at the same time with another person. That's the biggest headache, and they have to fix that. That and the e-commerce stuff is super slow to roll out for some reason. We're gonna need things like sales tax support and all sorts of stuff, which I'm a little confused about. I figured, like, with the way the speed that they've moved in the past, things like sales tax support, bundling products, they finally included digital downloads, user accounts. Like, it's, that's the biggest, the two biggest things that I would say that Webflow needs to improve. Oh, Yogan, yeah, user accounts, exactly. Hi. Delicious goat meal. Are there tools like Webflow that have collaborative features? I don't know. I know that, what is that, Elementor for WordPress? I don't know if that's collaborative or not. I think that's supposed to be the closest or something like that. Good morning, Moonraid. Good to see you again. The other thing about Webflow that I'm quite disappointed is they deactivated their wish list. But I think that, like, they're just going through some growing pains. Like, they just got those huge it was Series A fundings or something like that, and they're scaling really quickly. So I think they're going through some growing pains that they have to adapt, because I feel like there has been a little bit of a disconnect between their audience and their team, just like a little bit. I'm still close with many of them. They're great people that work there, but it's just one of those things where I'm noticing that as they grow, the distance is kind of increasing. Elementor is a plugin as a visual editor. I don't think it's collaborative. Yeah. Having to use Zapier to run a lot of APIs is frustrating. It really is. Also, it's Zapier and not Zapier. Zapier sounds way fancier, and it's not that. That's not the right way to say that. It's Zapier because you make zaps, which I was just educated on. Anyway, start working. What do we do first? Yeah, lulls because it's a zap. Exactly. Well, best of luck, Zach. I know that you've been fighting that for a while. Hopefully we'll see it at Webflow. All right, so we've got some basic wireframes in, and I'm not like thrilled about any of these layouts, but I just want to kind of map out some content for the site. So these things will probably change a lot as we go with design, but you have to have something to start with. So wireframes are down, and we did a bunch of research. So if you missed all this, here's our typography board. We're definitely going to be pursuing some grotesque fonts. Here's my favorite font of all time, which is Hercules, which we may play around with today. And then there's this, super condensed sans serif all caps thing that I've done in the past, which we may want to pull into the site somehow. Color, we're still mapping out, and I'm actually going to convince Greg Gunn to come on live with me probably next week and go through some color paletting, which should be really fun. So, but I think I'm going to do something like with greens, but using this kind of like pink and bold red combo in there somewhere. So we'll see. Navigation, this is something that we're going to play around with. I'm still wrestling with, should we do a really fancy hamburger full screen menu, or should we incorporate some, just the nav elements on the header. I don't know. We're going to play around with it though. See. And then we've got a bunch of examples for our layouts and grids, and see, I'm going for something super clean, minimal imagery, mostly typography, and kind of a unique grid. Like I'm not looking for a standard bootstrap grid. Damien, oh my God, it's that handsome future guy. Thanks. How's the music, guys? I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit because I noticed it was -29 and it's usually at -25. Hey Candy, thank you for the follow. Why is the future shop support link for your stream? Well, because that's the jam, man. Like, that's how you can support the stream. Good morning, Boy Tokyo. Oh, you want to support me? Oh, thanks. I will be accepting the Twitch affiliate pretty soon, so you'll have the chance to do that. But I think what I'm going to do is just take all that, any kind of money that's generated from the stream and just put it right back towards you guys in some way, like giveaways or something like that. Aladdin, hello from Morocco. Wow, very cool. Greetings. All right, okay, so we were going through research, and then finally we have kind of like some illustrative elements and more illustrative type. You know, I think we're gonna play around with some black letter and stuff like that. Some handwritten like scribbles and, you know, accents. Like this play button is really cool. And then finally we looked up like buttons and fields and all that kind of good stuff. So we've got some ideas here that we're gonna toy around with. Lots of stuff to play with, but it all kind of matches, which is good to see. We used to have merch on Blind. It's actually still on the future, but it's on our old WordPress site. You can still order. We still fulfill orders with merch. It's bookstore.thefuture.com. My Discord invite is broken. Oh my God. Is there a mod? Can we put that current link in the chat? Oh, Damien, thank you. There is no way to donate via YouTube either, but soon. Appreciate that. Thank you guys. I'm floored that you guys want to throw money my way. All right, let's get started. Let's see. First, we'll fix the Discord link. Generate link. And I'll throw that in the Twitch chat. I can't chat with YouTube right now, but no. The easiest thing is to steal money from Amazon and throw it your way. Yeah. I've noticed that we have like a free Prime sub, which is kind of cool. I actually used my Prime sub for Young Khan, who's on Twitch. He streams every night, and he's an awesome dude. He's just like super chill. He hangs out, he sketches, he draws. So I'm in his stream most nights, just chilling. Okay, so I think we should start with some type, and I'm gonna go to, you know, one of my favorite typefaces in the world is Accidents Grotesque, but I don't have a web font license for that. What I do have is Active Grotesque. So we're gonna take a look at that real quick. Great to see the Grandmaster in action. Don't you put that pressure on me. Right, hold on, I gotta log in. 1 minute. I like y'all, just not that much. I like to share, but you know. Have you guys been in Adobe Fonts recently? Like, there's some crazy stuff. Like, look at that black letter. This is some crazy, I mean, illegible, crazy stuff. Oh, I forgot to turn the link mod off. Still invalid. I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm so sorry. All right, I'm putting a never expiring link out there. And I'm gonna put it one more time into Twitch. There it is. Hopefully that works for you, Cinti. All right. What were we doing? Oh, we were looking for active grotesque. So if I remember correctly, active grotesque actually has two different types of families. They have an extended version and then they have the normal. Yeah, see, look at that extended version. That is super nice. Okay, so we've got the hair. Okay, so we're gonna just keep downloading these. So we've got light. I don't think we'll ever need light, italic, regular. This is the jam. Like, look at that. It's beautiful. We're looking for something subtle, but also just a little bit quirky. So let's see. I think we'll probably use the italic, medium, never medium italic, bold. I don't think I'll use black, but we'll just pull it just to be safe. Okay, and then when we go extended, there's this one. Okay, so we've got all those synced. And I'll show you guys one of the sites that I've built that has active grotesque in it. And it's this hair parlor and 8th site. So I've used it for a couple of the links and I paired it with this, I think it's Mizan or something. It's a really subtle sans serif for the main typeface, but you can see for the subheads, I used it up there, and then I also used it for some of the links down here. And then if we go to shop, this is my friend, by the way. She owns this salon here there in LA. So you can see it's super clean. I love that the X height is pretty tall in comparison to the uppercase characters, and that's about it. But I didn't want to. She was looking for more of like a classic feel to her website, so she didn't want to accent the sans serif stuff too much. But I like the way that this looks. So let's see. Coffee is gone, people. Seltzer of the day. Good and Gather, tropical cherry. Probably should have, yeah, like, coffee is gone. Probably should have done that whole series of opening the seltzer and pouring it into the microphone. But, we'll save that for ASMR streams. Okay, so we downloaded that one. Let's make sure that it's working in our XD dock. Let's see, we'll do 1920. I typically always work in web 1920s. To start, I know that like a lot of people are mobile first. Go for it, but this is the jam. This is jam for me. Okay, so for some reason, XD puts Active Grotesque down here. I don't know what these typefaces are. I think they're like international typefaces, but it always puts it down into the base for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. We'll go ahead and make this probably just change the fill here. Anchors, thank you so much for the follow. The 1920s were a great time. Get out of here. Mods ban him. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, listen, you know, it's one of those things where it depends on your style and the way that you like to design. Still even two. Here we go. Desktop and punk are not dead. So the goal here is just to explore the typeface and to get used to the way the different weights interact and the extended. I'm not exactly designing the website. I'm just kind of toying around with how do we make this pretty at scale. Matter of fact, hold on 1 second. Move to just chatting real quick. Crack open my Notion. So what I was doing last night was I was trying to work out like a type hierarchy system that kind of expanded to fit different browser widths, to where it wouldn't be difficult to change. Like I was trying to like work out like body font sizes at different widths. So I'm actually gonna try 30 pixels for a body type size at 1920 and kind of see how that goes. But if you see me like looking over and referencing this is the math that I've done for this project. I always find that like I'm doing way more math nowadays than I was before, now that I know a little bit more about development. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so we're gonna make this area type. Did I say math? No. Not at all. Where did I put my plugins here? I don't know, guys, that might be a little too large for my taste. out better. Still not used to the guides for XD coming in from the sides of the artboard. I know it's not like a crazy new feature, but I don't know. It's throwing me. Go all caps here. This is where we can do like extended, maybe. Looks about right. So if that's 24, let's just double it. And go 48. Oh, that's the wrong spot. In looking at this typeface, the one character that I'm not really a fan of is the question mark. You guys see that? It just feels a little bland. I don't know. All right, so then if we're going 96 for our heading 2, if we go all the way up to 180, we're heading, could be a little crazy, yeah. So whenever it comes to like using type scales, I'm trying to stick with like a specific, you know, the type scale that's like included with a lot of the programs that we use. I don't think that like XD has a type scale built in because they're more flexible, but it's a good rule of thumb. So like it goes from 6, 8, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 24, 36. Those steps are for a reason. And so I always try to like stick around there for at least the first kind of exploration into a typeface. So a couple of things that I'm noticing about Active Grotesk. Sorry, the kiddo's screaming. Couple of things that I'm noticing about Active Grotesk is I love it for body, for text. But I'm not like super digging the numbers. Like even at scale. So let's go, let's see, this is 180. So let's go 420 here. 420. I'm typically this messy when it comes to just experimenting with type and kind of exploring the way things could be. Tighten that up, yeah. Yeah, I'm just not in love with the numbers. I don't know if you guys knew this, but a keyboard shortcut in XD, whenever you're working with like numbers here, you can hold Command, or I guess it's Control on Windows. It's super on my keyboard. You hold that key and you go up and down and it'll increase or decrease by 1. But if you hold Shift, you can do increase by 10. And that kind of helps you move mountains a little bit faster. But what I was saying about type scales and type systems is like I try to keep things as simple as possible, to where we're not having to make an incredible amount of decisions every time we want to use type. It's like, I think, you know, you really only need 6 size options. You need, you know, your heading 1. This is actually heading 1. Funny. Your heading 2, your heading 3, a subhead, some body type, and then people call it an H massive, just like a heading massive. Because you can reuse the same sizing in type pretty much in any circumstance. Like this right here, this number is let's see, let's change that to 96 to be consistent. Thought it was 96. And that doesn't really work, so we'll do 48. Yeah, see, that's nice. So you can reuse these type sizes, and what that does is it gives the user's eye a little bit more consistency, so they kind of only have to understand 6 different things in the hierarchy. So let's see. Oh man, I gotta catch up on chat. Sorry guys. AA is in the chat. What's up, man? Came to see the Burns in action working on a game UX. God, no game UX here. That's tonight. Tonight we're gonna be playing some video games. Let's see. I've been in too many meetings at home for my dog to start going crazy and barking like a mad lad. Yeah. Do I normally follow the 8 pixel rule when creating layouts? Not at all. I like 10 pixels. Are you setting the type components on this? Not yet. Not yet. I think I'm going to go with the Active Grotesk here, but I don't think I'm going to set those yet because we're going to explore a couple of different typefaces. Be right back. Just about to be okay. JTR, we'll see you. We'll see you soon. Best of luck on your quest, sir. All right, so 6 different size options is really what we want to stick to, especially on these kind of explorations. And then, you know, we can do a whole bunch of different things like this around maybe. My wife is writing a message to me. It's very secretive. Hear the dry erase marker going. There it is above the monitor. Let's see. What is it? No, too fast. Hang on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. An interesting development in the home hunt. I'm gonna have to DocuSign something by noon, and it is 11:30. So as soon as I get that, she'll kind of come in and let me know, and then I'll probably just do a be right back thing if that's cool, and dip out real quick, DocuSign that, and then be right back. Should only take a couple minutes, guys. If we don't do it by noon, apparently it gets pushed back a month, and I definitely don't want that. You don't think you could deal with the stress of having a family? Oh, it evens out, man. It really does. I know that, like, you know, seeing us on, maybe seeing me just exhausted sometimes, it's it can look unnerving, but honestly, it's like with the joy that accompanies it, it's great. I love being a dad. Wouldn't have it any other way. Let's get back here. Any tip for someone who's starting to create his personal site? What to avoid or where to focus on? Well, it depends. It depends on what you want to accomplish. So I think that, like, if you start with your goals, and matter of fact, you could probably do this with me, Hibix. All of the recordings from these streams are on YouTube. So go over there and just follow the process. Like, starting with user goals and moving into, you know, a sitemap and content, you know, doing IA and wireframes and all that kind of stuff can really help. But you would just want to start with your goals and your users. All right, so what we were doing was we were just like playing around with some alternate layouts here. Just trying to get used to this this typeface. There's no grid here. I'm just playing. Just playing, guys. Calm down. My God. I'm just kidding. I don't know what you're typing in the chat. I really like the extended version of this typeface for the subheads, and I like it for the body copy too. It's funny, you always know that it's about to go down when the dry erase markers come out. That's cool. I'm digging it. I really like the larger sizes, and you can see, like, you know, this is obviously busy because I'm throwing this in here. Like, if this was an actual layout, I'd probably remove that heading 2 or move it down, but I just want to see how everything kind of plays together. And it's cool. I like it. Okay, let's move on. One of my favorite typefaces, which I've said before, is Hercules, so we're going to play with that one as well. And if you've been following me at all, you know it. Thanks, Franjo. Appreciate it. Like I said, these are not actual layouts. I'm just exploring different typefaces and how they interact at different sizes. I'm trying to create a type system that I can use as it's almost creating your palette, right? So you create all these elements that you're going to use, all the type systems, all the typographic sizes and shapes and all this kind of stuff, and you use it as different elements throughout the design, as almost like you're putting paint on your palette. Asking Google, thank you for the follow. And Lisboa, good to see you. Thank you. I'm trying to pivot into becoming brand identity expert for challenger brands. That's cool. Bunch of research material, but what should I focus on after that? In terms of what, Zach? Like, you putting together a website? Like, what are you making? Or is this just like a career question? Okay, so one of the things that I've noticed is that when Hercules is in small sizes like this, look at the legibility difference, guys. Let's pull this over here. We'll just delete this real quick, move it away. Look at the legibility difference between these two body texts. Hercules is amazing as a display typeface, not so good as a text typeface. I know, and Lisboa, I've been missing the A at the end, so it's crazy, this difference in legibility, and I think it's because it's, you know, Hercules has these little kind of curly Q tails that make it really unique, and all these kind of like wavy lines on the ends of the serifs and stuff. But like I said, it makes a really interesting heading typeface, but for text, it's terrible. But there are serif typefaces that are good for text. Let's see if I can have one here. I think it was Maison. I don't have it on this computer. Nope. I don't know about you guys, but like back in the beginning of my career, I would have killed to see what's inside my Design Heroes type menu. I don't have it in here, but they do exist. Like Times New Roman is a perfect example. It's super boring, but it works great as text. It's very legible, and that's how it was designed. But I think Hercules is really more of a display typeface. The other thing that I notice about Hercules is that like when it's a light text on a black background, it looks real thick, like thick with 2 C's. So if we go and make this more of a lighter color and turn this into our darker tone, you can see the difference here, like between the two. And this is the problem that I've been running into with Hercules and how to use it. Like, look at the optical difference in weight. Thick boy, that's right. Yeah, there's plugins. Yep. Yeah, so this difference is really throwing me some curveballs on my existing site, because on my existing site I use Hercules all over the place. And even this is like, obviously the current website sucks. That's why we're redoing it, so disclaimer. But it's just kind of a mismatch of different fonts, but you can see that I use Hercules all over the place, and I wanted to do kind of like a night mode, and when I was experimenting with that, it just looked really clunky. So you can see, this is probably why I'm gonna avoid using it. But here's where Hercules like shines, is in the numbers. Like, look at those things. They are beautiful. And at huge sizes, it really does work. And I think that this is what I used in the complete case study. I've got some decent type going on in there. But the numbers are just, I mean, makes me want to sing. At smaller sizes, let's see, so like obviously we're not going to do body text on that. It pairs nicely with the active grotesque, but I think that like I just want to keep it simple, to be honest. The bold font, you want to talk about thick? Dude, look at this. I'm not trying to tear down Hercules. It is my favorite typeface of all times, but when it comes to like digital stuff, especially if I'm wanting to go more of like a dark background, I don't think it's going to be a good fit for to carry the weight of all my headers. So if we turn this back down to like regular, maybe medium, and then we take this and, you know, put this at like, I don't know, 400. No, that's too much. Like, then we get into some cool stuff here. Go like, that looks pretty rad. Okay, chat, pop quiz. Is this an orphan or a widow? Let me know in the chat. Orphan or a widow? This little guy right here. We got widows, we got orphans. Somebody look it up. Somebody look it up, because I'm pretty sure it's a widow, but I could be terribly, terribly wrong. I'm not good with like memorization when it comes to this stuff. And so whenever I'm doing like creative direction, I'm like, hey, you got like a orphan widow there, a widow orphan there. Wrong, it's an orphan. Where's Chris when we need him? Yeah. That dude, when it comes to retention, he can read something once and be totally fine. All right, so this exploration right here has indicated that I'm not going to be using Hercules in a major way on the new site. So it's good to cross that off. We'll go ahead and go over here and I don't want to delete it. I don't know, what should I do? Just move it up. I can read something once and be totally fine. I'm just not going to remember it. Yeah, exactly. When do we get a cameo from Chris? He popped in last time and he saw that I was just writing. He's like, whoa, boring. He bailed. Yeah. You have to read the book, listen to the audiobook, take notes, reread, and I still retain like half. So I think that like the difference is like some people are incredibly good at retention with like terms and memorization, things like that. For me, I know that this is wrong. Like I know that this is we shouldn't do this. I just don't remember what it's called. A widow is when the last line of a paragraph starts by itself on a new page or a column. Interesting. Okay, so you can see like I immediately deleted the body text here from Hercules, so we're just gonna move on. It is beautiful though. I am floored with this in most cases, but it's just a little bit wrong for what I'm trying to do. We need to step things up for next time Chris stops by. Yeah, I think his perspective or his approach to live streams is a lot different. You know, he has a plan. He has like a curriculum. He has a topic of discussion, and it's going to be kind of more like a live lesson. Whereas the theory for these streams is like, come on in, I'm working, we're chatting. It's kind of like we're working next to each other. So it's just a totally different vibe, if that makes sense. Oh, he always has a plan, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so there's a couple more typefaces that I want to experiment with. One is Neue Haas. And this is pretty. Why are you doing this to me? There we go. So this is a new one. I've actually never used this one. Whoa. But it's very similar. I think it's a bit wider than Active Grotesk. Take a look at the numbers. The numbers in my mind are a little bit better. So if we kind of compare them side by side, like I like how the bowl of the 3 almost comes up to the, you know, it comes up a little bit higher and it's wider here than it is here. And we could use the Active Grotesk extended for numbers. Maybe that would make a difference, but not condensed. You can see it still is shallower than this one. And just, it's personal preference at this point. I'm just, you know, spitting, but yeah, see the extended version is way better for numbers. So I'm gonna pull that over. Gonna keep that. I literally have not made a decision here, guys. I'm going through this with you. So I'm kind of analyzing, trying to share what's in my brain as I see things. But I do like that other 4 a little bit better than this 4. I like the 3 better here. I like the 1 better in Neue Grotesk or Neue Haas Grotesk. Let's see, is this? Because you notice the one up here is it's got that like, it doesn't have like a curve to the top part. I like that. In the grand scheme of things, this is not going to matter. Like 75% of the people that hit the website, they're not going to notice this stuff. But I'll know. I will know. Let's try. Is there maybe it's text? Is there an extended? Dude, what on earth? The system does not like this typeface for some reason. So you can see the difference in subheads between our active grotesque and the Neue Haas Grotesk. The extended all caps has a lot more flavor. It's got a lot more spice than our typical standard text, which is another point towards active grotesque. This is active grotesque. This is Neue Haas Grotesk. And I don't think that Neue Haas Grotesk has an extended version. It's beautiful though. Like the headings are gorgeous. It's got a little bit more contrast in the line weight. So you notice like in the bold of the A here compared to this, it's a little bit more, maybe it's more refined, I guess. Good things to think about. When I first started, what I would do is I would just put like one word. Maybe it was like, you know, a long word. And I would typeset that in one font. And then I would duplicate it all the way down the artboard. I'd have like 50 versions of the same word and then change all the typefaces and kind of compare that one word. But I've realized over the years that like the use cases for typefaces, it's less about seeing it in, typeset with one word, and more about seeing the flexibility of the typeface as a whole, and seeing like how you can push it and massage it in different ways, and how it interacts at different sizes together. So that's why I started doing these, where it's like let's take a look at the typeface as a better like complete picture of things. All right, so I think I have Founders. Dude. XD, if you keep doing this, I'm switching to Figma, like right now. All right, let's see. Okay, going to Founders. Why does it, you see it, it's typing down here, even though it's highlighted up here. Oh my God. There's a meme out there. It's a feature, not a bug. Yeah, Figma. There's a meme out there where this guy is in his bedroom and it's cluttered and it's messy, and he grabs a keyboard and he starts smashing his keyboard on his desk, and he like throws it across the room. Have you guys seen that? Let me know in the chat if you've seen that. It turns out that we know this guy. Like, if you follow the future, if you watch our content on YouTube, you've seen Aaron. And the guy in that video where he's smashing the keyboard and his hair is like going everywhere, that's Aaron. He was one of the first memes that like took off. It was like he had millions of views on that little clip. I couldn't believe it. That's Aaron. That's our that was our cinematography guy. Yeah, the guy. Yeah, he destroyed his keyboard. Yeah. So I'm gonna pull an Aaron. I'm not gonna destroy my keyboard though. Oh my. There we go. All right. Let's take a look at Inter. I'm confused. I'm like really confused right now. I'm gonna give XD a shot. Try rebooting it. Oh my God. You guys seeing this? It's all regular. This is crazy. Really odd. I wonder if it's because it's one of those variable weight typefaces. Like, look, it's all regular right here. Look. So Inter is one of those ones where you can take the weight and you just like tweak it. So it comes in many different weights. Hold on. This is it. So like you can take the weight, and instead of picking medium or bold or regular, you can actually just adjust it and make micro adjustments. And I'm guessing that XD's had, maybe they have a problem with this. I don't know. Hey, one of you Figma people, install Inter and let me know if it handles it well. You should grab this font anyways. It's beautiful. All right, I guess we can't test that right now. I don't have Figma installed on this computer. Otherwise, I would probably jump over there because I'm not happy with this performance. The other option is I switch over to my Mac, but that would screw up the stream because I don't have the Mac running into my capture card. This is insane. It's the new font suggestions feature. What kind of PC do we have? I have 3. The one that you're seeing is a NZXT build. So it's I forget all the specs. The main design workhorse that I'm used to using is on my Mac. The problem with that is I don't have it running into the capture card. Like I don't have that set up, which I probably should pretty soon. All right, let's get back to these typography explorations. So source sans showed up a couple of times, and I'm going to show you guys why I'm not super into that. It says it's missing the fonts. Maybe that's... Maybe that's the issue. I don't know. Let's go download some new fonts. So the one that I'm like super hyped on, and you know, everybody's hyped on to be honest, is Founders Grotesque. But I also want to download some samples from Sharp Grotesque and then see if this Swiss International is available for free download, just to try it out. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Not sure if you have already, as I was checking Enter in Figma, but you should try Neue Haas Unica and Proxima Nova. I actually like Proxima Nova a lot. It's just not exactly what I'm looking for. Shivani, see you soon. Is it time? Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta go sign my house stuff. right, we're back. All right, it has been signed. The baby is still not sleeping. And outside that door right there, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm gonna stay in here, you guys, and work on some fun stuff. Yeah, it was pretty fast. Basically, it was just confirming all the decisions that we made this week, and then we asked for one revision to the contract. So those boxes were checked, and yeah, easy peasy. The thing about the new house is like the reason why we're going with this specific model is that there's the studio, which is above the garage. And it's massive. It's like 19 feet by 21 feet. There's no closet in there. It's just a huge room. And we're actually having outlets put in on the ceiling, which was the change that we made, so that things like the overhead rig and lighting and stuff like that can all just be mounted to the ceiling instead of having stands and mount things to the desk and all that kind of stuff. So once we made that change, they needed some clarification and a change order signed and all that kind of stuff. So that's what that was. But I'm so stoked. I'm so excited for this new house. It's gonna be bananas. Bananas. All right, so we are having problems with XD not loading fonts. And so what we're doing is we're going to grab some sample typefaces from the interwebs and just start with that kind of new stuff. And I'll figure out the old ones. Yeah. So we're having a Mac and PC debate in the chat. I think the obvious answer is both. As far as design-wise, like design stuff goes, I really like Mac, but I'm also finding that like with the options, I've got 2 screens, 3 computers. One is pretty, I just use it for gaming and video editing. But both the Mac and the PC have been piped into my main screen for the past 3 or 4 weeks because I use the PC for streaming. It needs that like oomph, needs the power. But I find myself using the PC way more than I use my Mac right now. And I think that that's kind of indicative of ease of use, maybe? I don't know. It's weird. I feel like I'm stabbing a buddy in the back. Like, yeah. But when it comes to design, I do find myself like navigating towards Mac. Design and email. I have not found an email client on Windows that I like. But yeah, it is personal preference for sure. For streaming, you got to use PC. That's just kind of how it is. Jordan nailed it. Yep. Gmail is great. I just don't I have 5 inboxes to monitor, so I really like having them all in one kind of client, email client. I use Spark on Mac, and I forget what I use on my phone. You just found it. Yeah, I saw that you found Superhuman, Zach. It's expensive for an email client. Is it good? Do you like it? For development, OS X PC doesn't even come close. Yeah, I get it. I understand it. All right, let's get back to our type explorations. This is a bumpy one, guys. Thanks for hanging in. All right, let's see. Desktop. Just make sure no contracts are on screen or anything like that. Yeah. All right, so this is Founders Grotesque, and it's beautiful and ugly all at the same time, which is why I like it. The light and regular weights are my favorite. It's just pretty. I don't know, man. But it's also like it's a typeface that's been hyped recently. And then the two things that sets it apart from pretty much everything else is the C's and the G's. So you may like this, you may not, but look at how close the opening to the C and the G are. Comparatively, this is really what sets it apart, and it can be really cool, but some people don't like it. I actually really like the M for some reason, and the N, I don't know. You see like the variation in weight here. It's got some nice contrast without going into a deep inkwell, and it's just funky. I like it. And they have a test. Oops. So I just downloaded it and go ahead and install it. Oh man, they have all of their tests stuff here. So let's go ahead and do Founders Grotesque default. Hey Windows users, if I'm doing this wrong, please let me know. No, don't stop. The mono version is beautiful. That's actually what we use on the future site. We literally pulled in, we purchased a single web license for Founders Grotesque Mono, and that's what we use for our like our meta text. It's gorgeous. You can select all, right click for, hold up now. I'm not seeing that. So I select them all. Just open. What did I do wrong? Select them all. I open them, and that's what opened this like cascading outside of it. Okay, I see. See, this is why I love you guys. So how do we do, let's see. Outside of zip, so we're unzipping. What's cool is that they included a bunch of their fonts. Hey, Alex. All right, let's do this. Let's go OTF. Founders Grotesque. Just do this here. All right, here we go. Install for all users, this one. Beautiful. That was easy. And then we'll pull the mono in here too. Awesome. Ooh, what's the condensed look like? I'll clean this up in a minute, guys, so you can see everything. do condensed. Not really hyped about that, so we won't install that. It's cool and all, but I like the like Knockout and Champion better. See, Windows isn't that bad. I'm convinced, man. Like I said, I'm using it way more often than I'm using my Mac right now. All right, let's see if XD has a problem with these typefaces. Like it did with Inter. I may just need to reinstall Inter. What do you think? Hey, did you guys test it out in Figma? Is it working? All right, Founders. I probably need to restart, huh? Or restart the XD. Inter on Figma acts weird too. Only font weight available are regular and bold. No variable support, obviously. Wink. JTR's back. Okay, so Razor, when you installed it with TTF, it worked. The variable weight worked because there's more than just regular and bold. It's like, it's got crazy stuff. So if you could confirm that, that'd be great. All right, let's see. Y'all, why is Founders Grotesk not showing up? We just installed it. Is it gonna want me to restart the computer? Need help from the Windows gods. No, it's only the mono version. Is it like in here somewhere? No. Tell you what, let's try something else. Let's open Photoshop real quick and see if it's in there. I don't want to do this in Photoshop, but let's see if it shows up. Yeah, Windows is not winning any points with me today. This is Caliber, which is what we use on the Future site. Founders, growth, test Founders. Okay, so maybe I need to look at it as test Founders. But it works on Photoshop. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we learned something today, is that XD does not search the entire name of the typeface. You literally have to start typing it in from the beginning and move to the end. So that sucks, but moving on. Test Founders Grotesk. Here we go. I'm just gonna delete that because it's not repping Inter to its full potential. Okay, so this is Founders Grotesk. And I'm comparing Founders Grotesk to Active Grotesk, which is, yeah, what this is. So you can see how the C almost closes in on itself, whereas it's a little bit more open on Active Grotesk. So it's got more of a funky vibe. And take a look at the G. I love the Founders Grotesk G. Reminds me of a monocle. Whereas this G is it has a little bit less flavor. Let's see. And you notice that like Founders is a little bit wider. Like each character is just a little bit wider than an Active Grotesk. So we'll probably want to go like semi-bold on this for our subhead. And then in type, text size. So this is at scale. This is 1920 by 1080 on my screen. And it's a little bit challenging to read. It almost like needs to be a little bit bigger. So let's say we bump this up. Six or so, something like that. And maybe if we decrease the weight on the dark background, that'll help. That helped a little bit. Even still, the legibility, the difference is pretty. So here's another thing that we need to think about, is that to jump into Founders Grotesk, it's going to involve some cost. So if we wanted to use it, all 35 styles of Founders Grotesk, condensed version, the extra condensed version, the text. We need to download the text sample or install the text sample. It's $900. Now we could probably go with the Founders Grotesk family without all the condensed and stuff, and that's $300. So that's a little bit easier for me to swallow. And so the decision that we're going to have to make is it worth the cost of upgrading to this font that I've wanted to buy forever, so maybe, to achieve that kind of like funky look. Whereas Active Grotesk is already included with Adobe Fonts, so it's free. For me, it's not free, but it's inside something I already paid for. Food for thought. And then we've got web licenses with monthly page view limits. So I'm nowhere near this on my personal site, but like, let's say the future site, we're somewhere in between 100,000 and 500,000 a month. So that would be $900. No, that would be $2,700 to get the whole family. $900 for this smaller family of 10 fonts. So that's something to think about. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reinstall. Enter. And we're gonna see if this works. Close Photoshop. Close all these, right? So we'll want to install these. JTR presets. Oh, the client is happy, but I have to work with customer service on Squarespace about an issue with client notifications. That's cool. OS X Catalina came with Founders Grotesk as a system font? Hold up now. That comment came in from YouTube. Broadcast from Poor Farm. Interesting. Well, if you do figure that out, let me know, because I definitely have an updated version of OS X, so I can check that after stream. Enter hinted for Windows. Is this desktop? Okay. Install. Let's see if this works. Is there a formula or best practice for size ratio between the different headers and body? I think that the easy rule of thumb is you want to double the sizes in between, because contrast is key. So I would say at least double, and don't be afraid to go super, super bold. So that's the kind of rule of thumb that I follow. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's see if it worked. Didn't work. There's like 17 different regulars though, that's for sure. Extra bold. Bold. Black. It's not working. Just take screenshots on the font and image trace it. Leo, sorry, I haven't fixed the mod yet. The auto mod URL thing, so don't post URLs in the chat for today. I'll fix it by next stream. All right, so Founders Grotesk is really cool, and I'm really toying around with making that purchase, but let's keep rolling. So for anybody who's like new to the stream, what we're doing is we're trying out different typefaces. We're exploring them. We're trying to figure out which grotesque is going to be the right call for the site. And I've got here a basic like 6-level hierarchy, headings 1 through 3, a subhead, a text, and then an H massive. And we're just kind of toying around with a couple of different layouts and seeing if we can determine which typeface is right for us. So let's try test Founders Grotesk text. Huge difference. Did you see that? Look at this. Okay. There's the display and there's the text. And it's different not only in the line heights and in the kerning, but it's also like the characters themselves are different. It's much more legible here. You could actually, even tighten that up to, let's say 30. Yeah, that's nice. Scott, nice. Joining with a beer as it's 5:30 p.m. in here in the UK and almost the weekend. Enjoy. Walker, you're back to support. Nice. Excited to see typography exploration. That's what we're doing. All right, Founders Grotesk definitely does have a leg up, but Active Grotesk brings the same kind of feeling for free. So those are the two that are fighting it. They're duking it out right now in my head. Okay, so the next one I believe was Sharp. Let's see. So Swiss International and then Sharp Grotesk here. So I think somebody in the chat said that Swiss does have a free trial, so let's try that. What were my fonts on the oh god, I can't talk. It's been a day. What were my thoughts on Inter? well, we weren't able to see it. So I have thoughts because I've used it for forever, but we weren't able to see it in XD because we couldn't get it pulled up. So I don't have thoughts. Sorry. Nikki, thank you for dropping by, and I will take a look at DM Sans and DM Seraph. Thanks for hanging out. Shayna Rosa, thank you for the follow. God, a plugin to deal with variable fonts. I'm glad it exists, but like, ugh. All right. Swiss. Oh, what? That's cool. All right. This is what we're after. Swiss International. What is 300 CHF? What is that? Oh, it's Swiss franc. 328 or $323. Okay, again, the contrast between the cap height and the X height is really nice on this one. I would kind of more, I don't know that this is a grotesque. I'd more classify this as like a Helvetica killer. So just a solid sans serif. Let's check it out. Let's see if we can download test. How do we do this? Are we missing anything? Free trial. There it is. Okay. Download trial. One moment, please. Let me register over here. You know what's funny is that when you guys see this on the YouTubes, it's gonna be so cut down that you're gonna miss all of the raw bumps and bruises and here we go. Accept this license. Okay. Be back. But this is what it's like, you know, you gotta download typefaces and all sorts of stuff. And miss all the dad jokes, exactly. Trickshot Studios, you're passively listening and code jamming to your music while you work on your portfolio. Thanks for letting us all hang out and work. Absolutely. That's the whole point. You know what stresses me out? Having all these windows open. These Finder windows. Or Explorer, excuse me. Explorer. As far as zip files go, I definitely like the way Mac handles things. You double click it and it unzips. Okay, Swiss International. Desktop, install all these. So we won't have the whole stream anywhere. Yeah, I'll leave them up on my channel, but it's not going to be on the future. So like the 100,000 people that watch it are going to miss out on all this stuff. Swiss Internet. Yes. Weird that it's already installed. definitely need the mono version too. It is amazing to me, however, that many of the keyboard shortcuts are the same between, like closing a window is Command W. So that was kind of cool to not have to relearn all that stuff. Not the mono. That's pretty. See, with this one, the text copy does, or the text does not need to be as large. I'm still astounded that XD on Windows did not like the Enter typeface, which makes sense because I put Enter in the style guide kit because you can distribute it freely, which is amazing. So I put it in the style guide kit, and then when people downloaded, I have a version in InDesign, I have a version in Keynote, and I have a version in Adobe XD. In the Adobe XD version, people were complaining that they couldn't open it, and it was a mangled mess. And I'm just like, I'm looking at it, guys, on my screen, and it looks fine. And I didn't understand it, but now I kind of get it. So, yeah, sorry. I see now that we have an issue. This is beautiful. So it's not funky whatsoever, but it's low contrast, which is what I'm looking for. Let's turn this down a little bit. It's very, very Swiss, obviously. Don't know. It's gorgeous, but I don't know if it's right for this project. Like the numbers, they have a little bit of a little bit more flavor and funkiness, like the top of the 4 here. It's got a little curve to it where the others don't. But then the 3 is kind of boring. I just need to make like a mismatch of all the numbers that I like. Okay, let's try. Let's do regular for that. Light? Is there a light version? Again. Yeah, you don't like the numbers? Yeah. The 4 is kind of cool. I like the 4, but 3 is a little bit boring. One thing that we could do is change this over to mono and do regular on that. Okay, notice that the mono is really narrow. See that? Versus the, let's change this to the Founders Grotesque mono and change it over to regular. This mono is way prettier, in my opinion. A southern accent came out there. Medium on that. Could also do mono on the numbers. I think one of the things to be aware of as you guys like play around with this type, oh god, it's so pretty, is that like you notice how I navigated back to Founders Grotesque to try something where we're sitting here focused on the Swiss International. This is a sign. And I think it's just important for you to be aware of that. Oh, the numbers look good on the mono version. Well, that one didn't change at all, did it? What's happening here? Maybe it's just the 0 that's cooler. 0, 1, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess it's just the 0. Like the 1 on the Founders Grotesque mono is really nice. Super wide. You know, I was kind of going into this thinking that Active Grotesque was the one. Now I'm debating. Okay, we wanted to try one more, and that's Sharp. So let's go through this process of downloading the trial again. Let's see. Trial fonts, okay. Download trial fonts. Hold, please. It didn't do anything. Maybe it's gonna email me. What? Oh, they took it as an order. Interesting. Here we are. All right. So we are looking for Sharp Grotesque. Download that. And then, you know, let's just check out Sharp Sans, because everybody's raving about it. Woo, that's a lot. Look at that. Holy hell. Which ones? All of them. Beatrice display is beautiful. to check it out. Oh man, look at that contrast. It's crazy. Wow. That is beautiful. And weird. In a good way. How many fonts you want, Ben? Yes. Yep. Exactly. All of them. Warrior65, thanks for the follow. I'll take them all. All right. I think that's probably the last one that we'll download here for now. Although we do need to do some trials with Druk. Okay, so there's the Sharp Sans and then Sharp Grotesk. Oh man, that cluttered things up a little bit, didn't it? Sharp Trial Wait. That looks awfully condensed. Does it not? I bet you it's like it only recognizes one of the ones that we installed, because there's like different variations, and it's probably different variations in widths. So you've got your book weight and then 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, all these different widths. Here we go. Holy, that got skinny. My God. Oh, I can see why people like this. Although trying to remember what number is what is going to be pain. Okay. So this is infinitely flexible. That's kind of cool. Hey, good morning, Heather. Good morning, Zach. Wish I could get skinny that fast. I know, right? Just dial down the number. Just take the scale and... So what's cool about this is that like it's the same thing with active grotesk. You can pick your weight. Like let's say we wanted semi-bold for our subhead here, and then you could expand it, go like super wide. So semi-bold is too heavy for me, so we'll go medium. And the nice thing about it is that it actually looks like it belongs in this family, you know, because it's in the family. Anyway, great legibility in text. The large sizes look great. How do we feel about streaming doing client work? I would probably ask for permission. Yeah. One of the guys I follow on here, I've talked about him a couple of times, Young Khan. He actually streams all of his client work. Maybe not all. He has NDA projects that he does during the day, but at night, what he's working on is all client work. And he actually has his clients join in, which I would say that's kind of a danger zone, but his clients will show up on stream and tell him they like it and stuff like that. All right, so if we go a medium on that. Oh, that's hella cool. There may be such a thing as too much flexibility with this. Look at how many weights do we have on Sharp Grotesk? We have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 14 weights times, it goes from 5 to 25, so 20 widths. So 14 times 20 is how many options that we have on this. Whoa, did you see that? Whenever you edit something, it changes the preview. All right, but let's take a look at the characters and compare them between Founders. 280 options. Wow. 280 options for this typeface between the weight and the widths. That's crazy. Oh my God. All right, so let's take a look at the character differences between this and Founders and then this and Active Grotesk. Because I think I can cross out the Swiss International. It's just not the look that I'm going for. So let's take a look at these two side by side here. So one of the things that I really like about Founders is this G, and it has a similar lowercase g, but for some reason I like the Founders Grotesk lower G better, because this feels like it's too tall. Like it's kind of taking over the rest of the word. And I also like that the little accent piece here, I don't remember what this is called, but it's a little bit more subtle on Founders. Like you can see here, even in small, it's like in small size or smaller sizes, it's like there's a lot of humps going on back there. And then comparatively to the Active Grotesk, the G, this G is a little bit boring. Number wise though, like the extended version of this is sick. Let's take a look at this here. Do Active Grotesk extended for the numbers. Okay, so it shares some DNA there. And the nice thing about Active Grotesk in this situation is that it's got a little bit less options, a little bit less decision making, I guess. That looks hella cool though, that extended weight. If we increase this slightly, what would it do? Okay, so it makes keeps the height the same. Yeah, see, most of this stuff I would not be interested in pursuing. I think there's probably 1 or 2 or 3 widths inside Sharp Grotesk that I like, and it's kind of like the middle one and then the extended one. Yeah, I think it's too much. Thank you for that, YT math. seriously do need a sponsorship. We need a Seltzer sponsorship for this channel. Seltzer and coffee. Okay. In other news and other characters and stuff like that, you can see that with the weight or the width that we've selected here, which is kind of that middle ground 20 that I like in the heading 1 here. Even if we bump it up to like 21 for this H massive, maybe 22 is where it really clicks in. Like 21 to 22 is such a massive step. I actually kind of like it better here. It just seems more reasonable. You know, same thing with this. I'm still I think I'm still leaning towards Founders Grotesk versus Active Grotesk. This is really cool though, that Sharp Grotesk. I mean, infinite number of options that you can pursue. Here's one leg up that Active Grotesk has over Founders, is that there is an extended version of the typeface, which I didn't see on Founders. It's just take a look, make sure we're paying Founders Grotesk its due. Oops. Yeah, that jump in weight from 21 to 22 is massive. Or width, I should say. But have you considered Comic Sans? That's funny. Okay, you see, there is no Founders Grotesk extended in the menu here. And oh, Caliber. You know, for the longest time, I pronounced this Calibre. And Chris was like, I'm pretty sure it's Caliber. And I think he said it on stream in front of everybody. Calibre. Okay, no extended version. So that's got a significant leg up on Founders, because I'm really liking the extended versions for the subheads and, you know, stuff like that. The other thing too is that, like, we haven't looked at combining typefaces. So what I want to do now is kind of like dig into some of the secondary typefaces that I'm considering for this. And it's going to be a little bit different. We're never going to set like body type in these typefaces. We're never going to set like heading 2s and heading 3s. It's really just going to be accents like subheads, H massives, these kind of like funky numbers that we have going on. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you actually. Let's try Knockout first. So we actually own this typeface, so let's do here. So you can see pretty much immediately why. Let's see, is this okay? Kind of like the bantamweight. So this isn't bad, but yeah. I think this is a Heffler typeface. So it kind of goes, you have to kind of like interpret the way that they name things. So there's full welterweight. So it's talking about the weight of the font and then the width of the font. So the full welterweight is probably somewhat condensed, but it's full weight. So it's really, really chunky. Let's see. Go back to bantamweight. So you can see right here. Used to pronounce Jose Banks. Jose Banks. That's funny. So you can see here, we would never, ever, ever, ever ever use this as a text type, and that's not the way that it was designed. I mean, obviously we could kind of bump it up and change weights here. It's just not the look that we're going for. Let's do maybe welterweight, middleweight. So it starts to become more legible at different sizes. But it's just not something that, it's not the look that we're going for on our text. But where it shines though, let me show this here. I'm gonna delete here, delete these, is that we can take these and do some crazy cool. Let's say flyweight, go all caps. We'll start adding some tracking here. So you can start doing some really, really pretty all caps kind of style stuff. So let's do. So this is how they kind of look at, they get that hype beast look almost. And then if you want to make something that's wider, you can go less condensed. So right now we're in bantam weight. We can go all the way up to sumo, and it starts looking really, really nice. And the cool thing is that like you can pull one of these grotesque typefaces into the body and use it for some of the headers and pair these things, and they look really, really nice. And then the other thing, what we did with our building a brand logo is that we would take a word like this, we'll go Charlie, and we would take individual characters inside this word and change the typeface. I don't think XD is gonna let me do this. Hold on. Do C. So when you're doing this, it's important to keep like the width, or just keep it in the same kind of weight family. You can do cool things like this where it's more punk rock. This is too much, but we'll kind of bump up into a different family. Let's see, this was bantamweight. So you can go ultimate or full bantamweight. You can see the difference in size there. Or you can just change the width of it. But this is how we created like the building and brand look, is combining these different weights. And it's super punk rock in my opinion. But for this site, for my site, I don't think I want to do anything really like that. But what it could be is something where I'm like, maybe I have a list of things and we go really huge on this. Pair it with that down there like it belongs somewhere. Like something like this starts to look really cool. You know what I mean? And then we're just rolling with our H massive on this kind of like condensed sans, which has a, just love it, man. And then we use more, you know, reasonable headings in the mix kind of deal. Maybe that gets lined up with the L. Goes down here, something like that. So like I said, I'm not working with grids or anything like that, but like these font combinations or these typeface combinations really work together nicely. Something like that, I don't know. But that's where I would pull in something like Knockout to kind of complement the grotesque sans. Something like that. I don't know. I'm just playing with layouts now, but that's how I'd loop in those kind of more display typefaces like Knockout. And Knockout and Champion share a lot of DNA. I think Champion has fewer options than Knockout does as far as their weights and widths, which is kind of handy actually. But it pairs nicely with the Active Grotesque because of the contrast. You know, the Active Grotesque or any grotesque typeface that we've explored, it's really rounded, it's funky, and then it gets contrasted with that hyper condensed sans serif that's very structured and you know, it has a rigidity to it that contrasts with that. So that contrast is really nice. I just realized that we totally blew by our time for critique in the middle of the stream, and I am so sorry for that. We're gonna need like some reminders. I'm gonna have to set alarms for that kind of stuff. It's been a crazy day, but I think it's time to hit pause on this and pick up one of the critiques. So, Franjo, are you available? Are you in the chat still? Yeah, thanks. AA, if you could help me out with that, that'd be great. Typo, just yeah, just what you need after a day of work. Well, we're gonna bail on that for now. So, well, before we do, let's wrap this up here. The decision that I'm trying to make is really between Active Grotesque and Founders Grotesque. And the thing that's holding me back, that always holds me back from jumping on the Founders Grotesque typeface, is the cost. because I need to have $600 to get the weights that I would want, and it does not have an extended version like Active Grotesque does. So I think Active Grotesque is going to be the winner, and we'll see how it goes. But I just can't justify spending the money for smaller pieces of the puzzle that I like. It's definitely an expensive typeface. It's beautiful, but when there's an option that's so close, aside from that pretty ass G, gotta go with free. Okay, so let's start the critique. Franjo, are you here? Yeah, that's when the ratio added value to money to spend, usually kicks in. Yep. It's unfortunate because someday I'm gonna buy that font, and someday there's gonna be like a buddy of mine with some money is gonna want a site done, and I'll be like, we should do Founders Grotesque. I'll go ahead and put that into the price, and that'll happen. The Capo, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. That's how you collect typefaces, man. You find them for client work that you do on the side, or if your buddy wants you to do a website, get them to pay for it, and it's great. Start a GoFundMe for Ben's font budget. That's funny. I have bought plenty of typefaces in my day. But that's just the one that I haven't had a project or anything like, except for my personal stuff that I would want to use it for. And I haven't allowed myself to spend the money. Hey, Franjo, jump in Discord real quick. And there's a waiting room. It's right here. So if you go into Discord and jump in the waiting room, I'll grab you and pull you into stream chat where I'm going to hang out. And then I'll pull open your link up here and we'll talk about the site. So as soon as you're in there, I'll go ahead and drag you into the room where I will be. Go and mute. Okay, so Franjo, you should be able to hear me now. Let me know. Turn your volume up here. Okay, you do hear me. Can you turn your mic on? Let's see. Can I unmute? You should be able to talk. Okay, cool. We're hanging out. So we'll pull that link open. Go back to Discord. And jump to stream room. Share screen. Go live. All right. Franjo, as soon as you're ready to go, let's do it. Can I add the Discord to your YouTube video descriptions? Absolutely. I'll go ahead and add that when I start streaming. I think it's just like a future.com/shop link. So I will definitely add that. It's a good request. And guys, like I said, this is new for me. I've been doing it for maybe 3 weeks. So if you have any suggestions for the Twitch or for the stream in general, I would absolutely love them. There's actually a whole channel in Discord for that kind of stuff. Oh, bummer. It's a bummer that you can't figure it out with the mic. Okay, let's take a look at this. And while we're scrolling through, Franjo, put it in the chat inside Twitch. And give me just some context and let me know what you'd like me to critique on this, okay? So just some couple sentences of context on the project, and then let me know what you'd like me to critique. So let's see, we've got a website here for fitness and lifestyle. That's a cool logo. It's like a little bit difficult. It's difficult to read a little bit, but it's a cool shape. I think it's $23.50. Okay. Okay, so it's your first trial run on case studies. Got it. Cool. So we're going to evaluate your case study here and how we're communicating the case study to potential clients. Yeah? Okay, you'd like to know if you communicated right. Great. So the work is beautiful. We'll just go through the visuals real quick because we're all designers here, right? And if we're not designers, welcome. Welcome to our crazy world. I think that the work is great. Like these icons. I don't know if you did those yourself, but they're nice. The only thing that I would probably critique on the icon side is that there's a little bit of conflict in styles here, where you've got these like curly cutesy line icons, and in contrast, everything else is pretty tough. Like the vibe of this thing is really tough. So that's the only piece that I would critique here. Like they're well done. They're great icons. I just think that like it might be better to be a little bit sharper, a little bit more in your face with your illustration style. Good call to actions. Yeah, nice. So this is a something that's easy to mess up, but you've got kind of like a purplish hue here, or like a bluish hue on your overlay, and I'm not noticing you do the same kind of overlay there. So I would just analyze what color is overlaid on top of this, because it doesn't contrast with it doesn't contrast well with the red here. And I would probably have preferred this to just be black and white like the header. Yeah, so nice visuals. Okay, cool. So let's go back up and take another look at the case study itself. All right, helping a local gym to become a recognizable fitness brand with a user-centered website. That's cool. As far as the writing goes, if this is your first headline, I would probably want to base this on the impact that you had on their business. So your case studies are all about impact. And if you're trying to onboard a client with this case study, you want to lead with that. So let's see, $23.50 athletics. Here's about the client. Here's the challenge. Basic services, where you can find this, and then when it was done. Again, I would want to lead with that impact. So I'm not seeing this in this kind of entry-level slide, this first text-based slide. All right, so using design principles to discover and focus on client and user needs. Common mistake. Okay, so we're doing a little bit of like client education here, which is cool. I don't have anything negative to say about that. All right, here's the process. Discovery session, analyzing research, finding users. Okay, nice. So you're breaking down the discovery session that you did. One thing when you're displaying your discovery session notes here, which this looks like kind of what we do with core, I would recommend calling out that this is something that you collaborated on with the client in a visual way. So whether that's like a snapshot of a Zoom meeting or some way that the potential client, the new people who are visiting your case studies, are looking at this and they're not saying, "Oh, is this the site design?" Because it's a little difficult to tell the difference if you don't know exactly what you're looking at. So I think that just like changing the way that you display these images might help clarify that distinction, even though it looks pretty on brand. But I know that some people will use the agency branding on the discovery decks. So pro tip there. Let's see. 2050 athletics website is a platform for achieving visual fitness goals. That's what this is. Here's wireframes. This is always nice to see. If you prototype in XD, and I'm not sure if it's the same in Figma, but they have these like these ways to see these huge like connection lines between your artboards, and that's always nice to show that view to in your case studies, because it looks pretty complex. Okay, nice work, nice work, nice work. Okay, so here we go. Boiled down, way down into the depths of the case study, we have the one thing that matters. We increased membership and users that love returning to the site. 3,000 average monthly users in 2020. 60% increased membership in 2020. Google rankings increased for top keywords. These stats are what business people are going to care about, and they need to be way up in the hierarchy of your case study. I know in traditional narrative forms, you kind of want to wait till the end to like do the big reveal, but that's not what this is for. This is, this is a sales tool. And so we want to give people that answer, like maybe right here in this slide. It needs to be the second, give a little context and then go right into what you were able to accomplish for the client and how you met their goals and what impact you had. So I'm super glad, very, very stoked that you actually had this in here. I think you just need to prioritize it more. It doesn't need to be down here buried in the work. And I would say that like you can expand on the impacts down at the bottom or at the end of the story, but what I would recommend is to at least surface the highlights up top. All in all, really nice work, really great case study. I think that you'll get some killer jobs off of this if you make those 2 tweaks. You could even superimpose, like you could take their image here and superimpose those graphs over it, and it'll be hugely impactful for potential clients. Nice job. No. I'm glad that we could have this conversation at least in one way. I'd rather people come, be live on Discord, but I totally get it. So I'm gonna boot you out of this room real quick, back to the waiting room, and stop streaming there. Okay. Yeah, great job, man. As far as case studies go, like this was one of the most complete that I've seen, and it really follows the formula that I put forward in the complete case study. And I think if you just kind of rearrange things to fit the, move those stats up, because they're great. Not a lot of people pull that from their clients. So good job. Really good job. All right, so we'll definitely do more of these. I really enjoy the interaction. I like taking a look at somebody else doing some work, and love critiquing case studies. Case studies and agency websites are some of the most fun to critique. So bring it. Join the Discord, put it in the chat, and we'll jam on it. This stream must end, and to recap, what we've done today is really mostly just type exploration. So if we look at our artboard so far, we kind of evaluated 5 different sans serif grotesque typefaces, and then evaluated my favorite typeface in the whole world, Hercules, and we're kind of netting out on the decision between Active Grotesque and Founders. And right now, when I'm sitting in this chair in front of you at this moment, kind of leaning towards Active Grotesque. But I am going to be pulling in some super tall condensed sans serifs like Knockout, and putting a little spice in the layouts with those. But this is just the process that I do to evaluate the different typefaces, and it's nitty gritty. It's super raw. It's just let's let's evaluate which one is right for the project. And one of those, yeah. I go by Zach. Thank you for the follow. No, I can't stop. We forget. It is forbidden. Okay, so Richard says, how do you feel about using negatively connotated expressions in tagline? Do we think that they can be appreciated positively after all? Tell me more about that. What's an example? Yeah, absolutely, Boy Tokyo. Appreciate it. Oh, right on, Zach. I'm glad you're here. I'm trying to keep things, the growth kind of manageable so I can really get to know the people. And which is why I haven't really advertised it on the Futures newsletter or anything like that. I'm just trying to get my feet under me as we stream. So I'm new here too. You're welcome. Richard, do you have an example? Because I'm thinking you're talking about something like, hey, MrBenBurns is not a designer. Or I'm not sure. Basically, I had to work on a tagline for your company about increasing image conversion and reducing returns for web shops. Okay. I came up with conversion to the point of no returns. I think that's creative. I like that. Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with it. But the thing is that you'll want to test it. Whenever you're doing any kind of conversion oriented copy on your website, like these are things that you really want to test. And Google Optimize is, I think they bought Optimizely or something like that. You can actually split test on a Google level and they'll give you some results. They'll kind of like change the text dynamically on your page for you so that you can test which one works better. Alejandro, thank you for that. I'm enjoying them as well. Having fun. Horton, getting to what matters. Warzone tonight. Absolutely. Absolutely. We will be playing Warzone tonight. I'm playing with my brother who's just recovering from surgery. So don't expect any dubs, but we're going to have some fun. And I think that I'm going to start streaming at about 9 p.m. Eastern. Maybe 10, depending on when the kids go to bed. You're welcome to join. I know that this is not the video game crowd usually, but totally welcome. Yeah, absolutely. Check out that Google Optimize. The A/B testing there is really interesting because you can change the text on the page from a Google level without changing it on page. And it doesn't affect your SEO or anything like that. So it's really cool. Yeah, the surgery did go well. I think he's back on his feet. It happened 2 days ago, and he's a trooper. Yep. And it was for something that was not a big deal. It's just something that you needed to get taken care of. So nothing drastic. Okay, so if you're not following already, definitely follow. Because if you follow and turn notifications on, which I think is default for Twitch, you get a little notification when I go live, and then you can join me from the beginning. So, if you like it, give me a follow, and we'll see you next time. Which, by the way, next time, we're going to be working in the sketchbook. I'm going to be doing some example layouts for trying to resolve the grid. There are 3 things that I want to experiment with. The Golden Cannon grid, which is my all-time favorite grid system to use. And then I want to try some things out with a 5-column grid and a 15-column grid. And I'm trying to go for something with a little bit of asymmetry, something that's going to lend itself to more like a funky layout. That's not going to, it's not going to be that like 4-column, 2-column, 3-column, 1-column style bootstrap grid, which isn't bad. So if that's what you're designing, it's not bad. I just want to do something fresh. So thanks again for joining, guys. I think what we're going to do right now is find somebody to raid. So let's see who's online, and we'll go from there. Raiding, by the way, if you're on Twitch, is when we all go over to another person's channel all together, and we land there, and we get to add viewers to their mix. And so as a streamer, it's so much fun when somebody, like when we get rated, because it's like, you know, the audience comes in, there's good chat, it's good vibes. So yeah, come on in, come with me. So let's pick somebody live to raid. Let's find. I got no peoples online, none of my regulars. So let's see. The next stream, the next work-related stream is going to be Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. But like I said, we're going into the weekend. So if you guys want to tune into some weekend streams, definitely give it a follow. I'm not going to schedule them, but if I find a couple of moments and I want to share some things with you guys. Last weekend we built a keyboard. Follow and we'll hang out. Okay. Let's see who's streaming in the art category. Hannah, not a regular, but I wish I was. Oh, all you have to do is show up. That's all. Yeah. We'll see you, Zach. Thanks for stopping by. All right, let's find who's doing something. Let's see. You guys got anybody that you want to recommend? Because if I can't find anybody that's doing something related, we'll just kind of bail and close. But I always like to do that. I'm a small streamer right now, and I can tell you, it means a lot. It happens. I found no one either. This is weird. Maybe it's just a Friday thing. Oh, here we go. Here's somebody lubing switches. All right, guys, even if you only stay for a couple minutes, let's give this guy some love. He's got 19 viewers right now. I think we can double. What do we got? We got 39 viewers still. So let's go ahead and head over there. Let's show him some love in the chat. Just say hello. And yeah, we'll go there. All right, so he's lubing keyboard switches is what he's up to. So let me open this. Put him on mute. Raid. Thank you guys so much. I will see you next time. If you're into Warzone and want to hang out, tune in back later on tonight. All right, we're going to be raiding and we're starting this. Did it work? Oh, no, 3 seconds. 29 viewers. All right, let's do it. You ready? We're going to raid. Here we go.
Switches lube you. Ничего прикольного. Hello. What's going on? Someone's raiding me? Hey, hello. Welcome. We're just chilling, lubing some switches. Where did you come from?